everyone. This is your host, Sharon Berkowitz at Sungates Center. And at Sungates, we welcome you to join the movement for love, happiness, prosperity, and spirituality. And our special guest today is Sri Dharananda Swami Steve. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Sungates. Thank you, Michael and Rita. It's an honor and privilege to be given the opportunity to contribute whatever I can and to be of service, both to Sungates and to everyone there is, all sentient life. Thank you.
So in our last interview, Swami Steve, you mentioned that things are happening quicker and quicker. And I've noticed the same thing in my life. And others have said also the same thing. So is time actually moving faster?
Well, no and yes. Time in and of itself is not moving faster. There's still 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, etc., etc. So time in and of itself is not moving faster. And time is actually an illusion, which we can go into at another time. It's an amazing concept and thought. But what is happening within that time, things are moving at a historic time, frequency, movement, faster than ever happened in the history of the world. And that is what we're going to talk about tonight. That's very exciting. So I don't know if you've ever noticed that if you were to think about where you were 10 years ago, or let's say 5 years ago, and how quickly things are moving, and how every year things seem to be moving faster and faster and faster. I mean, I'm not sure if you've noticed that or not.
Mm-hmm, I have. It just feels that way.
Right. And that's actually what it is, because actually what's happening is the veils are lifting and lightening up. And there's something called Saint Germain and El Moya and some of the other archangels. What they're doing is, through God's awareness, is something called the sacred violet flame, or fire, is coming around and encompassing the earth and everybody in it.
Yeah, I've heard the word veil used before. Can you tell us what it is?
Well, okay, well, a veil is it's like when women wear a veil over their face to cover up part of the thing for a wedding or whatever the case may be, or for other things. Or like when the clouds veil or hide from the sun. Now, actually, the sun is always there. And so when it's raining, the sun is still there. So actually what it is the veil is that which separates people, which are very dense, from the spiritual world. And so what's happening is, as time is going on and moving, it appears to be moving much quicker, is the veils are lightening, and we're getting closer and closer to a more of a divine type state, which is very exciting.
Yes, and you mentioned Saint Germain, El Moya, and I know these are Ascended Masters. Can you explain to our listeners what is an Ascended Master?
Oh yeah, when Ascended Master is, you may not have heard the word, or you may, but the point is you recognize some of the people. And what Ascended Master is it's a person that actually lived and walked on the earth and breathed. So what it is, he through good deeds, through going through his karmic debt, and going to the highest possible place, and going to God realization, they became Ascended Masters. And people that you may recognize are Jesus Christ, Buddha, and Krishna. And as far as like El Moya, he did many good deeds, and what his contribution was a phrase you've heard many times, and it's "not my will, thy will." So taking away from a personal thing, you go into a spiritual thing. And Saint Germain, God directed Saint Germain to head a group of White Brotherhood to through the violet flame or fire to send this throughout all humanity and give us the opportunity to access this thing which is transforming our entire world. So it's very, very exciting.
So, Swami Steve, what exactly is the sacred violet flame, and has it always been here for us to use? How did it come about?
Well, actually, we've always had the ability to access higher frequencies. But what's coming into now is it's actually coming in to all people at all times. So actually what had happened is most of us have heard about the Mayan calendar, of December 21st, 22nd, 2012. And what that actually was a changing of the guard. It's when the new earth birthed realms of cause. And we reached the critical mass in 2016. And it raised the energy, vibration, and consciousness. And this allowed God's portal, first cause and perfection, to be opened. And now the patterns of perfection to the new earth are unimpeded in the mental and emotional states of this. And now these patterns reverberate in the fifth dimensional crystalline frequencies of transforming divine love, oneness, and reverence to all people, and eternal peace in God's infinite abundance, in order for these patterns to tangibly manifest in our lives on a daily basis.
So, can you explain to us how the Sacred Violet Flame works?
Oh, sure. It'd be my pleasure. You know, it's actually through the Mother, Father, I Am presence of God. And what it is, the violet flame, or fire, is a unique spiritual energy that can help you in all areas of your life. It can help you emotionally, on a physical level. It can help you improve your relationships with other people, and with yourself, because there is only one of us, to grow spiritually and just to make your life easier. See, the violet flame is actually your crown chakra, up here. And the next frequency higher than a violet flame is actually light. So,
very interesting. And it's very exciting how this works. So can you explain to us, I know that people want to transmute their karma, or they want to erase the past, but I know we can't go back to the past. So how does the violet flame help us with this?
well, actually, that's nice that you mentioned. We can't go back into the past, even though many times most of us wish that we could have gone back and taken care of our past mistakes. So, but the violet flame has the power to erase and transmute the cause, the effect, and even the memory of past mistakes. And transmute means to change. The violet flame changes negative energy into positive energy. It actually changes darkness into light. And our past actions, whether good or bad, they do come back to us. That's the law of karma.
That's right. So you mean to say that what goes around comes around?
Exactly. It's really a well, you put that really well. So thank you. So it's something to remember too. So it's not only the actions that's happening. Now, what's happening is it's actually your thoughts. So it's very interesting. So guard your thoughts, because thoughts become reality.
So when you're using the Sacred Violet Flame, do you need to hold a certain intention of what you'd like to heal, whether it's illnesses in the body, or it could be relationships or your emotions?
Well, yes, and see, on a physical level, the violet flame can help heal our bodies by removing the karma that makes us vulnerable to the illnesses and diseases. But really, the real cause behind this is actually rooted in our mental, emotional, and spiritual states that there is. And they've been discovering more and more that our thoughts and emotions do affect our health. Researchers have actually shown that hate and other emotions and thoughts actually create an excess amount of acid that cannot be assimilated in our body. So really what it is to remove these negative thoughts and feelings. Often they originate in our cause psychological problems, and the Sacred Violet Flame can help to resolve that. And the scars or samskaras of old hurts and pains and memories may be healed and dissolved when healing through the violet flame is applied.
So what other benefits or results have people seen when they use the violet flame?
Well, everything and anything, there is no limitation. The only limitation there is on anything is the limitations we place upon ourselves. See, the violet flame transmutes negative energy, and we'll go into that in a few minutes. It does not simply surround and remove the energy. It transforms it into light. You see, when you have a higher vibration, there's more spiritual energy in your body. Acupuncturists, yogis, Tai Chi and Qigong masters know this, because as you feel your resistance or your emotions, what it happens is all this is suppressed into your body in different areas. So when you're like this, and what ease does, and flow does, everything goes through your body, and so this helps. And as you raise your vibration, there's less and less resistance on all levels. And as you're happier and as there's more love, so are you a healthier person.
Yeah, so
on all
that's
levels. Great.
This is actually wonderful. So what I'm hearing you say then is that people actually, it helped them with their memory. It also helped them think and be more creative and think more clearly.
Yeah, actually, the violet flame, you're right, thank you, helps free up spirit and reestablishes harmony, equilibrium, and propelling you into a more spiritual state of being. So it does all of these things. Thank you very much. And
this is the kind of, like the Alchemists Dream, that it's like in medieval times. Is it something like that?
It's exactly like that too. See, alchemists, during the time, what they did is they tried to change base metals into gold. So what it was is dense and base things into a higher frequency. And so that's actually what this is. Now, an alchemist, a true alchemist, is a wizard. Or use whatever you call him, a guru, call him whatever you want to use the word. And what they did is they sought to transform themselves into more spiritual beings by becoming more loving, wise, and compassionate. The violet flame has the capacity to transform and transmute negative elements within ourselves. It has the ability to transform fear into courage, anxiety into peace, and hatred into love. So that's actually what it does. That's what a true wizard does, and that's what we're doing actually today, because we're all becoming wizards in our own way.
And this is absolutely great, because this is how we could help with our lives and everyday situations and raise up our vibrations so that we can live more harmoniously and, like you said, in more loving ways. So is there a possibility that we can do a demonstration?
Okay. And the nice thing about this is the violet flame is practical and it's easy to use, and it exists. See, what it is Saint Germain and all the archangels and all the people that are with him, they're sending this violet flame around the entire earth. And within the earth, everything is being encompassed. And so it's happening as it is already. See, what's happening is we've already gone from a third dimension into a fourth dimension. And another time, perhaps we can talk about the different dimensions that there are. But so we're actually moved past that point. And so the reason why not all of us are accessing it is because of our karma and our memory and our past. So we still have memories of the past. So therefore we haven't transitioned into the fourth dimension yet. But as we can access these and bring this within us, it'll help it come quicker and quicker. So I'm going to show two different things.
Okay.
The first one is from my teacher, Sage. Thank you, Sage. And what it is it's a way to energize yourself and activate it. And this is your sun center, your Ajna chakra, or commonly called the third eye. So what the first one is and there's an expression, as above, so below. And that's a very interesting meditation, because what actually that does is that shows you the void. There is no above, there is no below. All there is isness. But perhaps at another time. So what you do is you breathe in, imagine there's a spiral or a vortex going in through here and spiraling. So what you do is you're breathing in with one breath, you breathe in, I'll do it out loud. You go, you do this 3 times. So again, you're just breathing in. Now, let's just do this. We do this 3 times. And what it is, as in all meditations, unless you're in a lotus position, your feet are flat on the floor. Neither your arms nor your hands are crossed. Your spine is as erect as it can be. And we'll close our eyes, and I'll guide it through us, and I'll just count out the numbers. So again, what we'll do is we'll breathe in through the spiral vortex, and breathe out with the exhalation with some force. Ready? This is 1, 2. Three. Now, how does it make you feel? Does it make you feel energized?
I feel actually very light. I feel much lighter. I feel more centered, and I do feel more balanced.
Great, because the purple violet light is a way of accessing it instantaneously. And what I'll do is I'll show you a quick meditation, how you can bring this into yourself. And you're talking about healing other people and doing things like this too. So imagine that this violet flame, which exists everywhere in the energy and the chi everywhere, it's coming in through your crown chakra. Oh, I noticed you're wearing. So I'm not sure if it's a coincidence, but anyways, so imagine this violet flame coming in through your crown chakra, and your eyes will be closed, and it's coming in, it's accessing your head, going through your arms, through your body, through your whole body, through your waist, through your hips, down to your knees, down your legs, and into the earth. Feel and hold your breath for a second. Feel this violet flame energy transmuting your DNA, transmuting everything. It's just getting growing and growing. And it comes up, and it goes out through your heart chakra, creates an aura around you 6 or 8 feet. And now in this aura, because it's love and light and transmuting darkness into light, when negative energy or resistance coming in your way, it's being thwarted. The more you do this, the more often you do this, the stronger the shield will be coming. And as you're putting this out out through yourself, it's benefiting you. And then as it benefits you, you can send it out to your loved ones, to your parents, to deceased people, to your children, to animals, to the entire world, or to individual people wherever they are, because through your intention and sending this to them, it'll help access them. And also the violet flame helps with decrees of forgiveness. And this is something you can do too. And because you can't always close your eyes and meditate on this level, what you can do is say, I am the violet flame. And as you say this, so it is. So you'll be able to access this. And through that, you can do this in a car, doing anything this way, as long as you pay attention and you're in awareness. And you can send this out to yourself whenever you're having an issue, to resolving a relationship with yourself or anyone else, or as a healing thing. So you have to remember that thoughts do become reality.
Mm-hmm. And this is a beautiful technique that anyone can do at any time. It's probably best to do it when you're not disturbed, or that you could relax into that meditation or technique, whatever you want to call the sacred flame. So just to wrap things up, Swami Steve, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, I'm grateful to Sungates and for giving me the opportunity to be of service to Sungates into the world. And if people have any questions, ideas, comments, please call Sungates, and we'll be responsive as possible. And if they'd like to hear anything specifically, it would be my pleasure in Sungates. So thank you. Thank you, Sungates.
So thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you especially Swami Steve. We appreciate all your wonderful insights and everything that you've shared with us today. So I wish everyone a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.